guys, welcome back to my channel. So I'm just going to hop right into this tutorial. It's a really dramatic look. I had a lot of requests from my one video, which I will link, for the eye makeup. I just switched up the lips, so I did it really dramatic. For brushes, I'm going to keep it really easy and just use this set from Royal in Langnickel. And I'm starting out with the flat top brush and applying my Estee Lauder Double Wear in the shade Tawny all over my face. For brows, I'm just going to use a brow pencil as per usual. This is from the Sephora brand, which I will also link down below. And I will be sculpting out my brows with some concealer, my usual MAC Studio Finish Concealer. For primer, I'm using my MAC Prep and Prime 24-Hour Extend Eye Base. I always forget the name of that, it's so long. I either use this or my Soft Ochre, it just depends on what I'm using. I typically use this when I'm using pigments, but I am using a ColourPop shadow in this look, so that's why I decided to go with this eye base. So I will be using my Morphe 350 palette. A bunch of you were asking if I could do another look with this, so I am going to be using that for the basis of this look. So I'm just using that shade in the crease as my transition shade. I usually always start out with my transition shade first before I go with any other color. Now I'm just taking this other shade on a smaller brush and just putting that in the outer portion of my crease and lower in my crease. So I'm just trying to create a little bit of dimension and some gradient. I'm adding more warmth to the crease right now. For my lid shade, I'm using one of the shadows from the Kathleen Lights and ColourPop Where the Night Is collab, and it's called Porter. I'm putting this all over my lid with a flat synthetic brush, and I'm just going to pack that on. So the most time for this look is actually this step right here, but you don't see it in the length of this video. I cut out a bunch of the length, but I spend a good deal of time blending, especially between the transition shade and my lid shade. So I spent a good deal of time doing that, and to help with the blend, I'm just taking this shimmery shade. It's a copper shade, and I find that if you're not using a matte, if you're using a satin or a shimmer or anything like that, it really does help with the blend. I already have those matte shades in the crease, but I wanted to further blend it a little bit more, so that's just going to help me out with the blend. Now I'm going in with a darker brown shade just to deepen up that outer corner on my lower lid. I wanted it to be a little bit more dramatic, so I'm just putting that on my outer corner and then blending it out. I've been really into wing liner again. I go through stages. I used to be all about a wing, and then I stopped doing it, and now I'm back to it because I fell in love with my BECCA Schwing liner, and it's just a nice dark matte liquid liner. So I love this liner. It's my favorite. I forget why I didn't use it. I guess because I was off doing wing liner, but it dries matte and I love it. So I'm just putting a little bit of mascara, doesn't matter what, because I'm applying lashes. I'm using the Lash in the City from Velour. I love using these for more natural looks or dramatic looks. I think I mentioned that in another video, but this is a more dramatic look where I use these lashes for. Now I'm just going to finish off my upper eye with my highlight shade underneath my brow. It's just a matte yellow tone, and then I'm going to be moving on to the rest of my face and then going back to my eyes. As you guys know, I always do this when I'm finishing off my lower eye. I like to move on to my concealer. So I'm putting that BECCA under eye corrector underneath just to brighten, and then I'm using my Urban Decay Naked Weightless Concealer underneath my eyes. I've gotten a couple of shades in this concealer, and I don't know what it is, but I don't really like it. I know a lot of people love this concealer, but I haven't really, I don't know. I just don't like it as much as other concealers. Maybe because I discovered my Sephora one and it's so much cheaper. That's why I love it, but I'm not sure. I'm not in love with this concealer, and I know a lot of people are, so maybe I'm doing something wrong. Maybe it's just me. But I'm just going to blend that out, and then I'm going to set it with this banana shade from the Makeup Revolution contour kit that I picked up. I love this palette. It's so good. The only thing I don't like about this palette is the highlight shades in it. They're kind of chunky, so I steer clear of those, but I do love the contour and the highlighting matte shades. So now I'm just going to line my eye with the YSL Waterproof Pencil in black. This was from a 500 point perk. I've been using it for quite a while. I haven't run out of it. It's my favorite black liner. Now I'm taking that Porter shadow on a flat definer brush and running that underneath my eye. And then I'm going to take a couple shades from the Morphe 350 palette just to blend that all out. Now I'm just going to set my face with the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. This is just going to ensure that all my powder products that I apply on top go on more smoothly. And after this, I am going to go back to my inner corner highlight, which I almost forgot. So I'm just taking a shimmery shade in the Morphe 350 palette and popping that on my inner corners. Still using that Makeup Revolution palette, I'm using one of the contour shades and just going to contour my face. After I contoured, I realized I wanted to add a little bit more warmth to my face, so I'm using my Makeup Forever Pro Fusion Bronzer in 35i. It is quite warm, so I'm using that just to lightly warm up my face. For blush, I'm just using the shade Prism from MAC. It's been one of my go-to latelys. It's fairly new to my collection, probably a couple months old, and I've just been really loving it. And this highlight is also new to me as well. It's from Maybelline, and I really love it for a drugstore highlight. It's really good. So definitely recommend checking it out if you're looking for an affordable highlight from the drugstore. Now I'm just going to set my face with the Herbivore Rose Spray. This is just going to rehydrate my face because I do have a matte foundation and some powder on, so I need to add that hydration back to my skin because I am quite dry. So now I'm just going to move on to my lips. I'm lining my lips with MAC Currant. Then I'm going to fill them in with the Viva Glam Ariana Grande lipstick and top it off with the gloss. So this is a very dramatic look. You can totally do a nude lip or anything you want, but I hope you guys enjoyed it nonetheless. My next videos will be tutorials for the spring, so I can't wait. Leave your requests down below if there's anything you would like to see, and I'll see you guys in my next video.